Hey AfterBuzzers, we're back with more Pretty Little Liars. Tonight we're discussing Season 7, Episode 13, Hold Your Peace, and we have a special surprise guest. Stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Oh my God.
Got a secret, can you keep it? Swear this one you'll save. Better lock
you sing
it
it.
in your pocket, taking this one to the grave. If I show you, then I know you won't tell what I said. Cause two can keep a secret.
Oh, lovely voice, Dakota.
I almost forgot the
You forgot the
I know,
shush,
and I'm the
it's
one
best
that's like, all right,
part.
choreography, let's do this.
I know, we're getting it down, guys.
Yes.
By the end of Pretty Little Liars, we're going to have this choreography.
It only took 8 seasons.
Yeah, so applaud us here. All right, but I want to first welcome our special guest, and then we'll introduce ourselves as well.
Yeah.
Kara, it's great to have you back.
I'm so excited to be back, you guys.
Yes.
Let's PLL jet.
I
Yes.
wish it was under better circumstances for your character.
It's all right, it's
But
all right.
we'll get into that. Before we get into the episode, I'm Stephanie Wenger, and you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Stephanie Wenger.
Lovely. I'm Hannah Prichard. You all can find me on Instagram and Twitter at @TheHotShotDude.
I'm Kara Royster. You can find me at Kara Royster on pretty much everything.
All right, and you guys can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube at Mr. Dakota T. Jones.
Ooh. All right, guys. I'm actually really excited to talk about this episode.
Oh my
There's a
gosh.
lot to unpack. I feel like every episode this season has been, I know that we're counting down to the end here, but lots to talk about. But I want to start with Yvonne and her tragic end.
Tragic but beautiful.
It was.
That
It
was beautiful, actually.
I was like, if it's the end of the road here for everybody, and so to be able to go out with like such a beautiful storyline and that
know.
connection stuff, I was very, very happy.
I know.
It felt like a very walk to remember moment
You
for
know what
me.
I mean?
I think it was just because you had the sweater on with the hospital gown. You know
Oh, you
what
mean
I
my
mean?
pearl sweater?
Yes. Yes.
You mean that one?
I'm like, where do we get this?
I wanted them to play Chasing Cars afterwards, like in Grey's Anatomy. I was like, so what song goes here? 'Cause I need to know.
It's so great.
That would have been beautiful.
Right.
I love how they did it though, because it was, you mentioned this earlier, it was like one of the only deaths, or maybe the only death that wasn't orchestrated by A. I mean, in a sense, the crash happened, but wasn't that because of a deer?
Yeah, it wasn't because of AD.
That's crazy.
Oh.
So
Yeah.
like, you're one of the only people who made it out.
Just on natural
Just on
causes.
natural causes. So
I
congrats
came
on
on
that.
PLL and then didn't die from A.
Yeah.
It's so bizarre, but like kind of beautiful.
It is.
You were actually never even affected by A.
No, I was never part of the A drama, which I love so much about Yvonne. I love that it was something sacred for Toby, that he didn't have to like really too much. No one was really hiding so much. Spencer had to, but not Toby. And so I thought that was cool that their relationship had nothing to do with the A drama.
Yeah, that's true.
I'd never really thought about it like that, but that's really true. What was your reaction when you found out that your character was going to kind of have this great moment, this wedding, and then this consequent death very quickly? It felt like this happy moment into quite a sad one.
I knew it was coming. Me and Marlene were able to talk about it a little bit and stuff, but after reading it and knowing how beautiful it was, I thought it was just, like I said, just a beautiful way to go out, you know what I mean? And, it makes some room for some other things to happen, so.
That's awesome.
Ooh, that's quite the teaser.
Yes.
You know.
And we talked about this earlier. You do not know who AD is.
I do not know who AD
But
is.
you could have known, but you were just like, I don't know. I don't
I've
know.
been a fan of the show since like the very first episode, like an absolute nerd about the show. So people kept trying to come up to me at the wrap party and tell me things, and so I was just like, so I got some inside scoop. I have little insider knowledge on future episodes, but
Okay.
I don't know.
Like in your mind, obviously don't say it, because then if it is that person, you might get in trouble later. But in your mind, do you have someone who you think is like the prime suspect at this point?
Kind of.
Okay.
I'm still on theories and stuff, but I've narrowed it down to about a couple. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which is more, because usually we're always like, everybody's A.
Everyone's A.
Yeah.
The
And now
end.
we're like, I have like 2 or 3 people.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say, I think that one that keeps coming up on our show is Lucas as being somebody who has the technology means to do it, and potentially had the time, and always kind of the outsider in this group. Even tonight, when we'll get into this a little bit later, but when she was called away away to be with Caleb, he was still left alone, and it just made me think again, like, could this be the person?
I know, and I hate to say it, but a lot of times it's like that one that's kind of quiet and maybe a little nerdy, and like the one who everyone maybe takes for granted or doesn't pay much attention to. And here he's trying to give Hannah her career, like, here is your career, I will do everything, and all you got to do is just show up, type of a thing.
Right.
And he's giving this all to her, and it's almost like AD or maybe Lucas was doing the whole, okay, we're gonna poison Caleb thing to see if her loyalty still lies with him or if she'll stay with me. So I could see
And
that
that
being a test.
obsessiveness with everybody, with Allison, with Hannah, with a bunch of different characters.
I
So.
can see it, or he's at least maybe involved, if not AD.
And he has been involved.
Oh, yeah.
I know.
I actually like him. I don't even want to have sketchy vibes about him because I like him so much.
I know it's sad because he's been in the show since the beginning, and for me to start to, like, as you said, narrow down that list of suspects, and he's definitely one that I continually think about. It makes me sad to think that this is somebody that I would point a finger at. But
Did you guys talk last week about the whole Paige AD thing?
Apparently that's a thing. Like, a lot of people are saying that they think that Paige might be AD. I know that it was on IMDb for like a quick hot minute.
No, I don't
said,
think they've even taken it down yet. It's
Really?
still on there.
Interesting.
It says Lindsay Shaw, Paige McCullough /AD on IMDb.
Oh my goodness.
But I know that people can go in and like edit things sometimes.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like, I just don't. I don't see it. But I kind of see what people are saying. But at the same time, I don't think that. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't
think
know.
it could
Paige
be
didn't
her.
come up on my radar. I see how it could definitely be a
Right.
thing, but like she isn't like one of my suspects.
Right.
She's
I
not
know.
up on the list for me.
And
I
at
don't
this
think.
point, like, after all of these years, I don't think that could be something that they would do an oversight on. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
accidentally putting that up on IMDb and, like,
No.
throwing everybody for a loop. That I'm like,
like
maybe that's what they did. Like, confusing everybody. But I don't think they actually
on
accidentally
set,
did
like
that.
we have to turn in our scripts. Like we don't even get to keep. Like that is a very
Wow.
secretive show. They're not gonna
Yeah.
just
Put
willy nilly.
AD,
Right?
Yeah.
I'm
That's
like, it
crazy.
can't
So
be
you never
right.
get to keep any like
Ye-
scripts as like
not
a.
really. You have to turn in your sides and stuff.
Wow.
Yep. And there's like
Dang.
passwords to the. It's legit. That's good. Because
Even, like, on set?
Yeah.
Yep.
Whoa.
Yeah, I mean, I can
Don't
only
take that
imagine though, because for this show, like that reveal coming towards the end of this series is
everything.
Is everything. It's the reason people. I mean, obviously people want other storylines and all
Yeah.
that, but like that is a major reveal for the series.
Right.
And so let's jump back into your storyline and talk a little bit about what it was like to film. Let's start with the wedding. And what was it like to be in a hospital? I can only imagine that's like a really weird
They
moment.
threw it together beautifully. Did you see the pearls on my sweater?
I saw
For
the
real?
girls, girl.
That tiara was everything to me. That was like my favorite part.
I didn't even notice that.
There's a little tiara. You can go back.
Stop
It's like
it.
a little, just a little sparkle. Nothing too
Aw.
major. No, but it was absolutely amazing. I thought they did a beautiful job of it, and the bouquet of flowers and the rings. I loved that ring. I swear, I almost walked away with that
So
ring a couple times.
pretty.
Like I was
Oh my
obsessed
gosh.
with those rings
You're
and
like
everything.
maybe accidentally my souvenir for being on the show.
I did keep my hospital bracelet, so I have that in my
Oh.
keepsakes. That's my little keepsake from the show. But the wedding was beautiful. I thought it was perfect. It made the Yobi thing a real thing.
Yeah.
And kept people guessing for a little bit.
Because Toby really did love her. I know that Toby has like this undeniable thing with Spencer, but at the end of the day, he was just so happy that you were alive for 5 minutes that he was like, let's get married. Like, he really
Yeah.
did love your character.
I was kind of his happy ending, his way of getting out of Rosewood, getting out of
Yeah.
all of the drama and stuff. So that death, not just because we were a couple, but that was like his last escape of the crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I thought it was so beautifully done to have the bouquet drop.
It was a pretty shot.
Yeah, I mean, just like and we all could like see that death was coming. We were all sitting together watching, and we were like, "Oh, it's happening!" And you were great. You did not reveal.
I just sat there
You're
very
like, just
quietly.
watch, just watch.
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
you let us fully experience that. But I have to say that the way they did it with the dropping, it was so great.
That was definitely discussed a couple times. That was rigged a couple different ways. We did it like a bunch of different ways because that was the moment. That was the goodbye. That was the goodbye to Yvonne.
Oh my gosh. And seeing him walk out afterwards and just like melt down.
Keegan did such a good job.
That
in
was,
scene.
I
that was
think, his
top.
best scene.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
yeah. Killed it.
Killed it. I was like, wow, he was like bawling. We're gonna go. She's already. Oh,
It was
stop
sad.
it.
Yeah.
Because he like fully leaned into her. You know what I mean? Like once he got on the ground and was like on his knees, like he like completely fell into Troyan, and it was really sweet. I thought he did a great job.
I know.
And it does feel like it's setting up for what's to come.
No. What? Are you like implying like
I just died.
they just got married and then she died. We gotta pump the brakes on that.
I'm so sorry. I understand in real life I would never say that. In this show, knowing how many episodes we have left, I understand where we're heading now.
Yeah.
That's all I meant by
I will
it.
say, like before your character, my friend for Christmas bought me a Spoby shirt.
Aww.
So like I was like all for Spoby, and then after a while, like sure I do miss some of their sweet moments, but seeing like your character and everything, like I was more of a what is it, Yobi?
Yobi, I
Like-
guess. I saw it a couple times. I'll keep rolling with
Okay,
it.
yeah, I mean, I thought it was very sweet, but I know like everyone still wants what they've seen for like 6 or 7 years now.
Absolutely.
But I do think cramming them getting in love, like going together again within 7 episodes, that's a lot. I don't think that they could push them back together in 7 episodes.
But like you said, in real life it's one thing, but in this they're experiencing so much together and going through so many hard times and picking each other up from like the end. Like, you know,
are they gonna have to go through? Like, is he gonna have to file for a divorce, or he probably never turned in the papers?
he's just widowed now.
That's true.
Or
Yeah.
is there a
Oh
different
yeah,
word?
because
widowed?
I mean, when someone dies, you don't. I don't know what
No,
I'm
I
saying.
think
You don't divorce them.
you don't need a divorce. Yeah, just widowed. But
Did we see anybody officiate you all though?
I don't.
No,
I don't. I,
see, that's
yeah,
the
I don't
thing.
know
I mean,
if it was
there-
like
yeah.
a spiritual.
I'm like, where?
Yeah, I mean.
I'm like, where's the papers?
Yeah.
I mean, did you see me die or did you see the flowers fall?
Exactly.
Oh, that's right.
I'm saying.
I have to tell you though, you looked lovely in that scene.
Aw,
Like
shucks.
for real, considering
Sweaty.
you were supposed to be like die. Well,
Very sweaty,
Right, that
but-
you were supposed
right.
to look that way. I was like, she looks great though. Like, did they just use like one of those like
Glowy.
Evian water sprays
Oh,
to give
yeah.
her like a glow?
Like
a little
cut
bit.
and they go.
Yeah, right.
Absolutely.
Really?
100%
Oh my
misted
God.
me with those Evian things. You totally called it. I was misted a few times just to get the ambiance
Lightly
of death.
listed. Oh my gosh.
That's beautiful.
Great.
I've been so caught up in the live chat.
I
you
know.
guys.
I know.
I
I
can't
haven't
help.
even seen.
I don't remember who, but someone did say Paige's last episode would be 15, I guess.
Okay.
So I honestly don't see it, I guess. I think that Paige, I just love her so much. I don't think she could be so evil. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I mean, to be honest, I've been more for her and Emily rather than.
Me.
Allie
I don't like the Emerson. I'm Paley as well.
Yeah, because it's like, okay, let me get your thoughts on this because everyone gives me hate for it, but it's like,
Yeah.
I feel like Allie.
Watch live tweet.
Yeah, in a few minutes it's gonna be on fire. But I feel like Allie and Emily, like they have had a few like moments in the past, but like Allie's pretty much just used
Right.
Emily in a sense, and there's not been a bunch of chemistry, but Paige has been there the entire time.
I just feel like Allie has always kept her guard up, and Paley. I don't even know that word. Paige has definitely like opened herself up, and again, I think with that kind of ship, the same way as like Yvonne and Toby, it like got her out of the whole PLL or the like A nonsense.
Yeah.
She was able to be just Emily for a little bit.
I never really liked Paige all that much. I'm not gonna
Really?
lie about it. Yeah.
Quit it.
I've never really liked her. It's no big deal or anything. They're saying there's gonna be a time jump. And it's like really throwing me
Kayla
off.
and Mev,
another
I
yeah.
think it's been heavily rumored that in the finale there's another like 1 year.
time jump?
Yeah, but I don't know if that's the full 2 hours, the last 2 hours, or if there's just a portion of the. You
Maybe
know,
like the last little bit.
The
Yeah.
PLL movie. you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel like in shows and movies they do like the last 10 minutes is that there's like a time jump of
Yeah.
sorts, so it could be that. I don't
right.
have a ton of information on that, but if you do,
see.
tweet us.
I would love. I would
Dakota,
have
yes,
really,
Bailey.
I do want to say I do think it would have been great for them to make the last 2 hours like into an actual movie where I would have to go buy a ticket.
I
Go to the
absolutely
theater.
210% would have paid for my own ticket.
Right? That would have been
200%.
great. I would have loved that.
Put that on like a Netflix, like a Netflix movie.
Oh, yeah.
Also, if
That
they,
would actually
That would have
be
been
cool.
dope.
Yeah.
also if they did like a limited engagement where you did it for like a weekend or two, and you like at the end of the series, I feel like they could have really had quite the box office
Oh,
off
yeah,
of that
that's
too.
true.
Probably
Yeah.
could have. Yeah, even if it was just for
Ooh.
like that would be
Yeah,
packed.
and then
Yeah.
like showed it on TV.
Yeah.
That would have been.
See, we have all these
You guys,
ideas.
we make so much money just
Yeah,
now.
right?
But let's talk about this dress that Hannah. I just.
Please excuse that dress. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Honestly, I didn't,
I
even
didn't
think it was
hate
that bad.
it,
Yeah.
but to go into a meeting.
For real.
Yeah.
Only because weren't some of the investors like Japanese or something? Didn't they say
That's
that at
what
some
I
point?
guess. So yeah.
Oh yeah.
To me, that was the only reason it was so bad, because I was like, it's really not an awful dress. It looks like she just chose the wrong outfit, but like if she's meeting with people who are Japanese, then offensive, sis.
Yeah.
That's the only reason that I was
Yeah.
like, that could be bad.
That could be bad. And I gotta say, I love Caleb's line. Your spicy tuna roll is gonna hang out, or not hang out, but
My
like
goodness.
pop out or something was gonna happen.
Your spicy tuna roll is showing.
Okay, let's go with that. Let's go with that.
That was amazing. I really hope that catches on.
Yes.
I hope we make T-shirts. Let's really keep this going, you
Tuna
guys.
roll.
Agrees. I think that would be lovely, actually. I'd totally own one.
I mean, that would be amazing. But I feel like there's just Hannah is kind of getting the grunt of the drama,
She always does.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because you have Caleb, who she's trying to hide. She's still trying to hide this like creepy board game that has, and can't do it because it's like surrounding her at this point. And Caleb, of course, like uses the board game, and something comes out of the board game, like a
Pesticide.
Yeah,
sort of.
It was
Something.
strong. It was
Yeah.
strong.
Right.
because it was like
He could not think, he said. He said,
Yeah.
I cannot think, I cannot breathe, I cannot talk.
Even though he came up with that like ammonia bleach thing, which I didn't even know was a thing. I was like, are we not supposed to do that? Should we not mix those things? Will that kill me if I do that?
Bathtub.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
You're like, don't do it though. Don't find out.
Yeah, right? Good thing he said that. That was my lesson.
Which brings us to hospital drama part 2.
Everyone is in the hospital.
I just wanted them to be roommates, like in a weird, like,
Pull
Right.
back the curtain. And Yvonne's like, sup?
I know that crying.
yeah.
Toby?
No, but I don't understand though why he got to keep his normal clothes on while he was at the hospital. Like they tubed him up and everything, and he's just in like his black shirt. I was like, what? Did wardrobe go on lunch break during that one?
Not like
I don't know.
full stage.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. It was more like, oh my gosh, this is happening right now. But like Yvonne had been there for a while, so they probably put her in her gown and everything. So we'll go with that.
There we
Okay.
go.
There we
All
go.
right,
We
whatever.
fixed it.
Yeah, it was interesting though because Hannah, of course, we mentioned it earlier in the episode, drops this meeting that she's going to go to Caleb's side, which obviously is the right call.
Yes.
But
Kind of, yeah. Let's see how AD feels about that.
Yeah, I
They
mean,
lost the puzzle piece now.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, the repercussions are obviously great because I predicted in an earlier show of ours that each puzzle piece was going to be each week, but this throws us off by
yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. So I don't know. Does that leave 2 for the final week? Where are we going with that?
Do they have another chance at it at all, or do they have to kind of like connect those dots between it?
That's a great question.
That is a really good question, man. I don't know. I want to know because this almost looks like a map or whatever that's getting played out. With
I haven't
this.
noticed.
Yeah. So
Whoops.
I'm
Spencer
like,
had said it because she started noticing some of the roads.
Oh.
yeah. So I'm wondering if there's gonna be like a circle around like a certain part. Maybe one of the missing pieces is not gonna be all that important. Maybe it's just like a town line like over here or something. Like maybe there's like a circle surrounding a street.
Or maybe it's a
something.
super important one. That's why she had the hardest task.
Ooh, maybe. But that doll was creepy.
Oh my god.
The dolls on this show always are just, it's so creepy.
I-
So
Oh my gosh.
impressive though,
Yeah.
but so creepy.
As
And the
soon
way
as
they made it
said,
bleed?
like, I know. Oh my gosh, the sound
I was-
effects you were saying.
Sound department did such a good job because oh my god, yuck.
Oh,
Oh my god.
I
ew.
always know when I have to like look away. That's when you've done something that's just and they definitely.
It's like, oh wow, you have to cut this thing open and it bleeds. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I
Of
gotta
course it
say
has,
though,
it
like
bleeds.
as soon as they said check the appendix, I was like, they're not talking about a book.
Right?
You knew that was really
I was
good.
like, check the appendix, come on. Like, I was like, I knew for some reason, but the fact that dress, I loved how like it was in this tiny little package, and the fact when she put it on, there was no wrinkles or crease lines. I was like, girl.
Well, she got
sure
that
she-
steamer, yeah?
Well, maybe, but I know when you buy something on Amazon, they cram it into a little package. It's got all kinds of creases, guys.
Whatever material that was, I don't know if it's like that. That was not linen. That was like
Right.
who knows what.
Who knows?
It was a
Shiny
costume
nonsense.
piece, for sure.
Spandex.
But I love that she knew it was going to bleed. Like, she put that thing down, she covered it with a sheet, she cut the little hole in it.
I know, it was like
She was
like,
prepared.
She was.
She
Yeah.
was like playing Operation.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like-
yeah.
The full butcher knife, like, was ready to go.
Creepy doll.
I know. It was great
Not
though.
great.
It was beautifully done. The stitching around the face, I think, is what really.
Ugh, I know. I like
Did
how
not
they
sit
did
well.
that instead of the ceramic face like they usually
Yeah,
do. It
like
was
a
a nice
mask.
twist. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like actual skin looking stuff.
It's the difference between AD and A.
I know.
The dolls are getting
yeah.
more real.
Yep.
Oof.
Yeah, and which brings us to, I guess, another tie to possibly AD, the Sydney thing that feels like a throwback to from season 5. I know she had another appearance this season, but it's been a minute. What do we think about her return?
I don't know. Seriously, I always do get confused as to where she falls into the story. Like, I just know that she was somehow, friends with Jenna, and I remember when she showed up, everybody thought she looked like Jenna, and like, it's a second Jenna. But I always get kind of confused as to what her role is in the whole story.
Well, she was almost like flirting with Emily at certain points back in the day and stuff.
Sydney?
So,
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so, I don't know. It's always so interesting. She really irks me. That one's on my radar for
We're talking
sure.
about Sydney, right?
Yeah, Sydney.
Okay, because like she's rumored to possibly be the second shooter.
Right.
Maybe.
Right.
She said she wasn't there, and like she doesn't really know much.
No
where
one was
Jenna
ever
is.
there.
Yeah, no one was ever there. Like, I mean, if you're gonna ask someone, did you shoot this person? No.
But I don't think she did, though.
I was in New York.
Yeah. I mean, she is obviously maybe just at least a puppet of AD or Jenna's because
definitely
she's taking
of Jenna.
photos and
She's definitely like said like
Yeah.
point blank like I don't know, Jenna called me, and that's like that's all like it has
Right.
to happen.
She's almost too sketchy, though, to actually have done anything, in my opinion. You know what I mean? Like, she seems way too obvious.
Maybe not AD, definitely that shooter route I could see.
Yeah.
She just seems like pure evil. Like, there's nothing, like, redeeming about her, which is really rare on Pretty Little Liars. I feel like even some of the it's, like, mostly gray characters for the most part. Like, people have good and bad qualities. And she just feels like, to me, clearly on the evil end of things.
I love Chloe
Right.
Bridges. I'm always like,
yeah.
please be back for another episode.
Oh, I mean, I love the actress. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I just like the character is someone where and probably so fun to play. I would imagine.
my gosh.
I saw
yeah.
her walk in last season. She was in, I think, the finale, and she walked into the table read. I was like, yes! Like, I didn't know who she was. I was just like, yes, Sydney, tell me about it. And so she only had that brief part, and I was like, give me more. So I was very happy to see her little return.
That is
Yeah.
so funny. I know that we talked about that new tattoo we're gonna get, right? The one where she was going to yoga and namaste beyond.
Oh, yes. 100%.
Namaste, bitch.
I think
love
it'd go
that.
really great here, or as like a tramp stamp. Like,
Ooh, tramp stamp.
Tramp stamp for sure.
Yeah.
Because then also when you're in yoga and you bend over, like, people can see it. It'd be lovely.
I like it. I can just I see it now.
It'd be lovely.
So great.
I have to laugh real quick for like 2 seconds of the
course.
conversation that was just happening up there, which it's not there anymore.
I think I missed it.
But they were talking about how has that phone from the game not died at all. Nobody's had to charge it. It just stays alive forever. I thought that was hilarious. I was like, true
That's
statement.
a good point.
Yeah.
Because every time they walk up to it, it's already on.
Oh yeah, and somebody was like, "I'm gonna need that instead of the iPhone 7." Right?
Yeah.
That's lovely.
But I feel like it sits on a thing. So maybe it's one of those. You know what? It's that wireless charger. It's that wireless charger docks.
Yeah.
See, we keep
Done.
solving things.
Yeah, we figured it out for you guys.
Moving on. Answered.
Check and check. But let's talk about this connection with Jenna and Sydney and what's going on. Jenna is another one who I'm just.
My God.
She's on the suspect list. She feels like probably too obvious of a choice. Another one who's probably too obvious to be AD, but how is she involved? Why is she still, in some ways, tormenting these girls?
For real. I'm like, give it a rest, Jenna. Like, seriously, she has been like openly a part of it all. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Since she got like outed, she's like, oh, what do you mean?
I know.
What? I'm blind. It's like, no.
No, you're not. Stop it. No.
I know, and she might be getting a new pair of eyes, or not new pair of eyes, but like she might be able to like see or get a surgery operation. So
Oh my goodness, if Jenna gets her vision back, I'll be dead. I'll
But
be
like,
dead. I'll be dead.
Okay, now correct me if I'm wrong, because I probably am. But like, didn't she get her vision back once before?
but it didn't work very well. Like it
Right.
like,
Faded away after a while.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean,
I think there's been a big question on Twitter, though, as to whether or not she has her vision now,
Right.
like, or what can she see?
Yeah.
Like, can she see shadows? Can she see this? I think people are not sure how
Much.
how her vision is at this point. But yeah, they did talk about like her getting some more vision back. So I'm assuming she's definitely, there's something that needs to be done.
Some sort of talk of it.
Yeah.
That would be absolutely insane. And like you said, Jenna has just been like the one big target for a very long time.
gosh.
But I think with these coming up seasons and it being then, it's got to be someone familiar at
I
least.
know.
You know what I
Right.
mean? It can't. I don't think it's somebody like just brand new off the street. You know what I mean?
Agreed.
How would you feel if it was Ren? Would you be happy with that outcome, or would you not? Because I've always been like, I thought like whenever
I thought
CC
A was-
was A,
yeah.
I thought it was going to be Ren.
There was a big one. Someone had like tweeted at me like 100 years ago of when they said like the color of something and they spelt it with a U. That's when I super thought it was Ren. They spelt it like in a British way and stuff. But
Oh.
yeah, I don't know. It was in like when they started going to the therapist or something. I was just looking through nonsense stuff today. I got into a wormhole of the
Yes.
internet. But I think Ren would be okay. There hasn't even been like talk of him that
I
much
know.
though.
Yeah.
I know.
Even with Lucas, the reason why I like that theory is because they've always mentioned him. Like every
Right.
couple episodes, they've at least said his name.
Because he was
So-
gone though for a while.
Yeah.
Like, and so when they brought him
Almost a
back,
full season, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, okay, good, he's back and everything. But then we are seeing a little bit more and more of him. So seeing him 5 years later and being so successful and having all this money, it gives him the opportunity and the funds to make these crazy games and buy these expensive props and dolls and.
That's why it took so many years
Mm-hmm.
in between, because he had to go make his money to come back and be a
Yeah.
psychopath.
Yeah.
I could see it.
Statement.
I think we have a strong case.
I'm about it. I think I'm
would be
into it
good,
now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I do hope that it's somebody who we're familiar with. As you said,
Right.
it's not someone who we've never seen before and is introduced 3 episodes before the end. I think that would
Yeah.
be a
I'd be
very
so mad.
frustrating
Yeah.
way to go. But if it is somebody who we've seen consistently in most of the episodes, I'm gonna need a large explanation of how they got it done. I know I've said this
Yeah.
before on the show. I just will want like flashbacks or just an explanation. I always recall Gossip Girl as
I
like
know.
needing that explanation of like,
Right.
well, how did they do it? Like, and
Yeah.
that's what I'm hoping for.
We never really got it with Gossip Girl
That is
either.
true.
I've rewatched that series so many times. I'm like,
And you're like, where?
Yeah.
when, how?
Yeah.
I know.
Whatever.
I do hope. I'm guessing they're probably going to reveal the last episode, I would think. But it would be nice if they did an episode or 2 before so we could really get the answers.
True.
Yeah.
Well, it's 2 hours.
yeah,
That's
I
true.
think
I mean, they pretty explained it even last season with all the things
Yeah.
like in
Because
that
with
time.
CC, like the
I mean,
first
a
5
bit more.
minutes,
I don't
they
even like
like
to talk about that. That was really disappointing.
what? With CC being A?
Yes, I'm
You
still
didn't like
I'm
that?
still pissed about it.
Yeah, what can you say? But I know that a lot of people were upset because I guess Marlene said that apparently a long time ago she may have said something like, "Oh, we're not going to go like the transgender route, like with." You know,
Right.
but then she ended up doing that. So I don't know.
Right.
Maybe she was just trying to cover her tracks, or maybe she changed her mind. But I know a lot of people were not expecting it because she had said, "Oh no, that's not how we're going to do
Right.
it." But then they ended up doing it.
My
But-
thing with the Cece thing, when she walked out, and I was like, yeah, Cece, hey, what? Like, I was like, right, it wasn't the
Exactly.
like, I actually liked how they eventually explained everything.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
didn't bother me, but it was just like, yeah, we know Cece's evil. Like, what do you mean?
Exactly.
See,
I
was
didn't mind the
shocked.
transgender. I didn't mind the whole storyline. It was just kind of like, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I didn't expect it because like I was
What?
thinking it was gonna be either like I was thinking it might like a guy or something like that because I know like when we've seen like certain parts of A, they use stunt doubles that look manly, and so
Right.
like whenever it was like
But the A calling them bitches every episode didn't
Okay.
give it away that it was
that's
a chick.
true. That's true.
True.
That's true because even whenever Mona was A, she would use that.
Right.
So I get it. So maybe it is a girl again,
Or maybe it's a guy now.
or maybe yeah.
We literally have no idea.
I don't know. And I love how you could know, but you're just like no.
I really,
waiting.
I really do love that.
Yeah, and I was like, they're gonna ask me 100 times, do not tell me, because I will panic and say something.
Yeah, I can't believe you didn't even like overhear it in a conversation. You must have really had your like
Yeah,
gloves
blind.
on.
Like I
Oh
said,
my
there's a
gosh.
little things I've been hearing and stuff. So I'm careful to say too much, but
Right.
yeah, I really kept my blinders on with that one.
Good for you.
I mean,
I couldn't keep my fandom secret for super long, so people started knowing not to talk to me about it.
All right, we better watch out. Kara's
I said
gonna-
that with Brian Holman, who wrote this episode. I like went up to him and said something. I was like, "Oh yeah, hashtag something." And then as soon as I said it, he like was on his phone. He's like, "Are you a fan of the show?" And I I'm gonna leave now. I'm gonna just
so
go.
great.
That's amazing.
He's like, wait a minute.
All right.
That's so great.
That's lovely. You're trending.
That's like a dream come true, though, to be able to be on one of your favorite shows.
Yes.
Yes.
That's awesome.
No, it was insane. Yeah, there was a couple times where I just definitely let my like nerdum go. There's like little pieces and stuff, little pieces of the set that they would throw into other scenes that I was like, oh my god, that's the like the Scrabble board that's what we're in one of the scenes when we're trying to leave. He puts in the Scrabble board that Spencer gave him, and I was like, oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
That's
the Scrabble board. That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
That was a long time.
Wow.
So that's a little fun thing. So when he's packing up the car, you can go look at it. That's like the last thing he puts in.
That's
is the Scrabble
really,
board.
really cute.
That's so cute.
And I love
I
that
died.
you knew that when you.
That's so funny.
I was like, is that the oh, I don't know what that is.
Well,
I don't know.
we should
Sips
also
tea.
talk about Spencer, and we didn't really talk about her relationship with
Oh.
the detective, and then we'll
yeah.
get into Nicole. I know everybody wants that too, but
gosh.
let's talk about Spencer and the detective. I think he's in for a rude awakening now that. I'm sorry, Toby.
That's not gonna happen anymore.
You don't think that?
I think they have really good chemistry. I ship them. Whatever their
Oh,
ship name is, I'm kind of
yes.
into it. Like, not
Marco-
even out of, I'm dead, who cares? Like, so like,
Wait, you still think Toby and
no.
Oh, no.
Fury.
Yeah.
Marco.
Detective Fury, Marco and
Yes.
Spencer.
Yeah.
Right?
agreed, me too. But you're talking about
Sparko.
What is
Yeah,
their
I'm saying that I think that we're
Demi-
going back to an original
yeah.
couple.
She's thinking Spoby's gonna come back.
I don't know. That's a
That's
little
not
too much.
happening. That's not happening.
There's just so much.
exactly.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot to get there. I'll admit, in like 7 episodes, that's very.
Unless they did do the year jump and like they weren't together, but then like after the year
Right.
jump, they're like, hey, how are you? I'm healing. How are you?
Right,
Do you want to like
right.
maybe do this?
No, and I do like her. He seems like a good guy.
I
yeah.
don't know. He stresses me out sometimes. He seems a little sketch.
Oh,
I think
knows
he's
a
almost
lot.
too perfect.
he does.
He knows something.
Okay.
And he probably drew that little child's thing and had a kid put his hand on there and put it on the wall. It's probably not him.
See, but I'm also starting to think about. I know Marlene teased.
Sorry. Marco can do polo in my pool. I just thought that was really, really good.
That's amazing.
up.
Stop.
B3
B3
airspace, you've been cracking me up there this whole time. Sorry, go ahead.
But that's amazing.
Sparko? Is that it? Did we
Wait.
make?
I guess
Yeah,
that
I
is.
guess.
That's amazing.
Okay, cool.
But I have to say that I start to think about Marlene has teased multiple weddings this season. We had one tonight.
Yep.
I think that's the first of this final 10 episodes. Who else can we have? Well, we know that Arya is engaged, so
Right.
she's another possibility. Could it be Spoby? Maybe. I start to go back.
Let it go.
I know. I feel like now I'm just like opening up like a Pandora's box.
But like Endgame. But like Marlene.
Yeah.
Marlene Endgame.
Didn't she say something at like Paley Fest that like all the couples that are meant to be together will be together? She said something about like in game is real or something, like we're really putting
Right.
everybody together. But
Yeah.
I mean,
She also said there wasn't a transgender. Marlene
said
has
something.
to say some things. But I think, ultimately, even as like of what has happened so far, I think over the years that still means something. Like the up until now, you got to put that into perspective too.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's
it's still a
true.
lot,
like
but
how would you feel if Allie was AD? Like if she like.
I wouldn't be surprised. She's pulled off some crazy things.
But the only thing is,
so.
what she was being tortured by Rollins, so it's I don't know how she could have,
And she has said it in other things. She's like, would I let this happen to me if I was AD? Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
That's
true.
true.
Yeah.
She would protect herself a little bit better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you have Caleb, and you did have that weird moment also with Caleb and Spencer, like having this weird like, is that going to be a thing again?
I was
feel
like, girl, you just got done making out with Marco.
Yeah.
Right.
Like,
Exactly. I
what
was
are you
like,
doing?
choose a guy. Like at this point, just choose a guy.
Spencer's got options.
Yeah, she's always been the one that's pretty faithful and like was always with Toby. So now like she's like Marco. She's got
Caleb.
Polo.
Yeah, she's got a lot.
I thought it was actually just kind of a cute moment. I think that was a good idea to make her talk about Marco with him because these last episodes, everyone's going to have to kind of band back together. So I thought it was just kind of like a we can be in the same room
Like,
sort of thing.
Yeah.
Friendship,
Yeah.
reunited friendship. I get that.
Yeah.
It was like
It's
this
like a
sweet little-
Ross and Rachel,
Yeah.
like when they had to become friends, like slowly again.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I still think Emily and Allie are gonna end up being one of the marriages.
Oh,
I do.
I don't know.
I do.
I
Just
just
everybody
don't
get
feel
over
it.
it because it's going to happen.
I don't feel it. I
Don't
feel
worry
They're
like
so far apart right now that it'd be
Yeah,
hard
but you
to-
know, like, you know, it may be her baby. So, I mean, like, they're going to get married.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Maybe.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you know.
because
so,
everyone thinks that it's her, maybe Emily's baby. Because remember when Emily's eggs got stolen,
Yeah.
and it's like maybe they
Oh my god, I forgot.
implanted
Yeah.
the eggs into her.
Yeah.
know, it
Because
could
they
be a
never
thing.
fixed that. They never explained where the eggs went.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you're going
I'm
to
a go. I'm a go. I'm gonna leave. That's so crazy. That's
know.
awesome.
So I mean, that might be a
Back
thing.
to
but
the
then
internet I go.
You're gonna be like searching through the portals of the internet.
Yes, every background scene.
Yeah. But I don't know though, because it might be weird because like who would be the father? Would it be Rollins? Like would he been the donor or what? You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
who's
I
the
don't know
dad?
how that
Unless
works.
AD is a man and maybe it's Lucas's baby. Like
I love the way you said that. You're like,
Oh
oh,
my
maybe it's
God.
Lucas.
who knows?
I
guys?
mean, at this point, who knows? But we did get a semi-new character. We've heard a lot about her, but haven't had her in Rosewood. Nicole.
Oh,
Oh
yes.
my goodness.
I was like, who is in the dark coming towards her?
I know.
Real.
I'm like, I know that ain't Mona.
And the way she stood up with that like silhouette, it looked like an alien. Like they really made her look like a like slivering like.
Oh yeah, she's like,
It was real bizarre.
Also, can we say, like, lock your door again?
Oh
like,
not good.
It's the thing that I feel like I've been talking about this show for seasons now, and I always am just like, lock your door. It's
Dear moms, don't go in the basement.
yeah.
right?
Simple as that.
Yeah. But yeah, and she has her wrist wrapped,
Yeah.
right? But looks generally okay outside of that. Hard to see in the dark, but gonna be interesting to see what Arya does next. I mean, this leaves
I think
a
that
big-
was one of the biggest surprises
Yeah.
of all time. Her
Yeah.
coming back, I think, was like the biggest thing. And I was on set that day, and I just was like, "Oh my god, everyone's gonna be so mad!" Like, and that was like, I watched them film it, and was like, as a fan, just like, "This is not happening. This is
can't
not
happen
real.
right
This is not." Go back into the woods. Like,
I'm going back into the woods.
I think that's gonna be very interesting to get more of her story too. Just
Yeah.
what happened to her. They didn't really explain.
It looked like she was like on Diane Sawyer or something, like giving a love story about how she was so excited, like I'm on 2020 giving my story type of a thing.
I can't.
I was like, please no, like Ezra, step up and say something.
Oh.
You know?
Oh, yeah, no, I feel like we haven't seen Ezra in a while, and I want them to have like a conversation about
my God.
what
Yeah.
has happened. At this point, like anything, I just feel like their relationship is so severed, and it hurts me to say it. But they've got to figure out a way to come back, because I will be sad if they don't figure it out.
No, Ezra is my top
Yeah.
of all of them.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
he could be sketchy too, because he's always in the show, but when you think about it, when stuff goes down, he's not usually around. He's usually
Yeah.
like in the background or like maybe gone or.
Yeah, they're still talking about how somebody just said how they think Ezra's AD.
Oh.
But like for what?
I don't know. I mean, we saw him briefly.
I mean,
before.
shady for sure. Like
Yeah.
maybe
Like, he
he's
wrote a
still
whole
writing
novel.
the books.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Maybe he's writing a sequel.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
The first one never got out though.
Yeah, right?
Or
Did she
never,
throw
right.
it off of the like what never mind.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
It's so funny. We're such super fans. Like if one of us forgets something, the other's like, oh whoa, don't
Yeah,
forget
but-
this.
Oh, season 5. You will recognize that.
If you look at like the screenshot from this episode.
It's consumed way too much of our lives.
So much of my
Too
days.
much.
Yeah, amazing. So let's talk about that final scene with the
Finger.
with the finger.
Oh, the clay finger.
Yes.
Very clear it was clay.
That,
This was the
that fingernail was
grossest-
not real.
No.
Yeah.
You can almost see a fingerprint on the side of it from where somebody picked it up. Couldn't you? One of the parts was like smidge.
Decaying.
Well, we'll give it to him on that one. Yeah.
Decaying. It was definitely the grossest yet funniest episode in a very long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I agree. There was a lot of like light as well as really
Yeah.
heavy. It was a well written.
Oh my gosh. Okay, you know how like at the very end of the episode, it's always like it used to be always like A's hands and gloves like doing things. Whenever like he opened up the envelope and like took it out, the thing out, and then it showed Marco's face, I was like, but it was just like, oh, he's like, you know, working with evidence or
Right.
something, so he has to be careful. But I was thinking, oh my gosh, like he's AD or he's involved.
This is it.
And I'm like, oh, he's just doing his job. It's fine.
Yeah.
Other people wear gloves before AD. Like,
That's
it's
true.
crazy
That's
to see.
true.
I
It
forget.
happens.
I forget.
Yeah.
My phone went off during an episode, and I was like, oh my God, it's happening.
That's great. There used to be like a thing where you could subscribe to get texts from A, and I totally did. And so before every episode, like I think it started like 2 seasons ago, but then now it's not a thing. Ever since CC was announced as A, it's not a thing. But like you get like, watch tonight, biatch. Like this is going down, and here's a clue for the episode, and they would give you clues, and it was cool.
Cute.
Well, we have a question from the chat. What does the finger mean? Who could it be from?
That's a good question.
I mean,
I'm sorry, P3 Airspace. You're really killing me, buddy. I'm gonna be in a nursing home before I see you what AD is.
oh my God.
That's lovely,
God.
buddy.
The Golden Girls
Sorry.
years.
Yeah. We said possibly. Who did we say when we were out?
Rollins.
Rollins. Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
It could be Mrs. D though,
Yeah.
because
Didn't she die a long time ago though? Like, wouldn't her finger be more decayed?
But
than
they
that?
just said that they're gonna find out who killed her.
That's
in the
true.
next episode.
Wait, how long ago did she die?
It was like a couple seasons ago. I don't
But
know.
they
what
had
the-
the
Five?
time jump. It was
Yeah.
before the time jump.
Yeah,
Yeah.
girl, that finger would be bone. Like, there's no way, unless they like cut it off and put it in a freezer or something.
Right,
Wow.
someone's real holding on to that evidence.
You know what? It's possible. Again,
possible.
it's Pretty Little Liars.
It's possible.
That's true.
It is possible.
But I think I'm gonna go with Rollins.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say, but then we're gonna find out who Miss D like's killer is. So.
But they haven't talked about it. Like, it would be nice, like,
Yeah.
I mean, there's been a lot going on, you know. I had to
Right.
die, things had to happen. I get it. But I definitely need to figure out who Rollins or what's his other name?
Archer, apparently.
There it
Somebody
is.
just said
Yeah.
it. I didn't know
Archer,
either.
whatever.
Archer.
Yeah.
No,
Well,
that's-
that kind of before we jump into all of that brings us into predictions. So let's
Oh, man.
let's go there.
I'm
I don't
lost.
even
You guys
know.
still do the, yeah.
You're like, I was in
I
the
remember
trenches.
that. It's amazing. Yeah, so I know we were getting a little into it, but I figured we should get the
Yeah.
The
music,
works.
Yeah, going. Any big ones on who Mrs. D's killer is gonna be? We saw that as the tease. Rollins, like what's going on? I feel like we've what 6 more episodes to go,
Oh man.
which is crazy.
Wow.
And
No.
Ooh, one popped into my head. I'm thinking Spencer's dad. I think a parent needs to do something creepy. They've all been too weird for too long for nothing to be going on.
Yeah, girl, I was just thinking.
Yeah, girl.
Yeah, yeah. Because I think Spencer's mom is who killed.
Oh.
Not her actual mom, not Mary
You're
Drake.
talking
But
about
her, like, yes, her.
Mrs. Hastings.
Yes.
yeah, wow.
I
There we
could
go.
see it. Like she'd be like,
Yeah.
"You idiot! You like,
Yeah.
you did this."
Or
You and
thinking
your
it was
family.
Mary Drake.
Right.
That she's a twin. That could be another little.
And like
Yeah.
maybe Mary Drake was like taunting Mrs. Hastings, like, "I'm gonna tell that she's my daughter," and she's like, "I gotta kill this girl before she
Yeah.
like tells,
Right.
and ruins our family."
Yeah.
Yeah. I just think the parents have done too many creepy things for them not to actually
Right.
come to fruition.
Agreed.
I agree with that. We always talk about this multi-generational ties to A, and I do think that that's going to come into play here. We've had less of the parents in the last few episodes, but there's still more to come. And I'm really excited for next week. I feel like I hadn't thought about Mrs. D in a long time, but
Yeah.
it's time to have that answered for
I
sure.
know.
I'm looking for all of these loose ends to be tied up.
Definitely.
And they do. Like, I was talking, like, with people and stuff, and they're like, it's very satisfying. A lot of the things I have been able to hear and
Okay.
stuff, I was just like, thank you. I thought we were never
Yeah.
going to talk about that. Thank
That's
you.
great.
So,
I'm
yeah,
so excited.
I think that they really do a good job of not just, leaving it.
Good.
They
That
really
makes me so happy to hear
Yeah.
because
Same here.
you do want that kind of ending for a show like
Right.
this.
Yes.
We always talk about fulfillment. We want to be fulfilled.
Absolutely. And I think that definitely happens. So even if like you stopped watching at a certain point and blah blah blah, like you can come back right now and like get those feels
Okay,
of like
good.
Dig it.
Good.
That
really,
is-
really quick. There's 2 people who wanted me to really ask you the question.
Yeah.
Okay, so at Sassy Troyan wants to know, what has been your favorite part of playing Yvonne?
I loved being good. Like I definitely thought I was coming on here and then I was gonna end up being super shady. I thought I was
Yeah.
gonna have Sarah Harvey with me somewhere like
Yeah.
down the road. I really liked coming in there and being good and not knowing the whole thing and being that person for Toby, as like I think Paige has kind of been at certain points for Emily. And so I liked being good and having that connection and it not. I loved coming on and not being the mean girl, the mean new girl.
Yeah.
Because I thought I was gonna come on and be like, oh, who's this new girl? And I like literally ran up and hugged Spencer. I love that they wrote this character to be kind and poised and an adult. I think that would have been something that would happen back then, but the time jump introduced that.
Yeah,
Definitely.
I dig that.
Definitely. And then the other one, which you kind of already answered, at @M_PLL theorist, says, did you like your death scene? And you said, yeah, you thought
Loved
it was
it. I thought it
beautiful.
was very beautiful, and they closed it off very well. I was happy
Definitely.
to go out like that. Good R.I.P. Yvonne.
I know. And that line when you're like, happiest. Like, instead of, are you happy? I'm happiest. I was like, what?
Yeah, I was totally crying when we filmed that. Like,
Yes,
because
that
I
was
was just like,
amazing.
Yeah, I mean, just like kind of a really
Good job, Brian.
bittersweet. Yeah. And but with that, we are out of time. How
All
crazy
right.
is
Crazy. We had so
that?
much fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being here again. It's always great to
absolutely
have
had
you.
to come on.
Right.
Thank you.
Exactly.
And where can they find you on social media?
On all social media, you can find me at Kara Royster.
And you can find AfterBuzz at AfterBuzz TV and me at Stephanie Wenger.
You all can find me at the Hotshot Dude.
And you guys can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube at Mr. Dakota T. Jones and my new talk show on Popcorn Talk titled Millennial Hollywood, which you got to come on. That'd be so much
Yay!
fun.
Whoop,
Yeah. See you all next week.
Oh, yes, bye-bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.